Good evening and welcome. Have you ever gotten a call and been immediately irritated? Probably I'm the only person on the planet who's ever had this problem, but just in case you have also had this problem, this is what I do about it. So I got a call a little while ago, a couple of hours ago, from a friend of mine who I'm working with tomorrow, who asked me something that was really not even appropriate to ask. It just wasn't appropriate to ask. And I kind of, fluffed it off a little bit. But the minute I got off the phone, I was like, do I really even want to work with this person? Do I really want to do this? It's like, geez Louise. So, and I'm just not willing to sit in this anymore. I have done a lot of deep personal work in the last, the 8 months that we've been in lockdown and semi-lockdown. And my tolerance level for being upset with people has shrunk because of one particular line that I like to use, and I've actually done a video on. If he's the problem, there is no solution. It can be used in many forms. If she's the problem, there is no solution. If they are the problem, there is no solution. As long as the problem is outside of me and I'm irritated about it, there is no solution. You can see that right now in today's society. Everybody else is the problem. And you can see the results of that. There doesn't seem to be a lot of solution going on. It's all, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. So what's the solution to that? The solution takes time, because it's taken me years to get to this point. I lived for many, many years with a lot of internal anger and resentment. And I have learned over time that it hasn't gotten me anywhere. In fact, it has destroyed some really beautiful things in my life. So that's hard to accept. But what's easy is once I got past all of that, it became clear that I was no longer willing to tolerate that. And, no longer willing to tolerate that and taking action to change it are two different things. And this is the very simple action that I continue to take over and over and over again. One is, I will write about it. And I will pray about it. Now, there are many prayers to use specifically for this. The standard Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Extremely effective. Another prayer that I use is, God save me from being angry. This is a sick person I'm dealing with. How can I be helpful? Thy will, not mine, be done. Another prayer that I use to be relieved of this bondage is to pray for the person that they may have everything that I want in my life. I pray for their happiness, their health, and their prosperity. Now, in regards to all of these prayers, I do them until that energy has dissipated. Now, there's also something that I do, which is the big Ho'oponopono practice, which is when I write down every detail that I can come up with in regards to this problem, and then pray over it with a longer prayer that I'm not going to go into in this video. If you would like to know more information about that, you can contact me via my website, which is in the description as well as at the end of this video. The point here is, do I really want to continue to hold on to something? And do I continue to want to butt my head up against the ceiling or the wall or a piece of wood or the dashboard or whatever? Just keep, being irritable and keeping that justification and unrest going on, because on some level it makes me feel alive. You can see this in its extreme in the current president of the United States. Resentment is the number one offender. And he's a walking resentment. And you can also see the tragedy that is. And the next thing to ask is, what are you living with? I mean, and, in order to even get to listening to a video like this, you're pretty close to have to already be very close to being open to the suggestions that I'm talking about on this video. Because I can guarantee you that 30 years ago, 20 years ago, when I had some significant resentments going on, there was no way that I was going to let go of those. Until it was painful enough. And there was one going on about 23 years ago that was so painful that I couldn't take it any longer. And I used the prayer, the third prayer that I talked about, which is to pray for the person to have everything that I want in my life, praying for their happiness, their health, and their prosperity. And it took a while. It was 6 months, but I was relieved. And I have never since been in a situation as deeply resentful as that. And when a big one comes up, which hasn't come up in a long time, I do use that prayer. But I also now am proactive with it. I won't let it fester. And, back in mid-March, I knew that I was very unhappy. I was very sad and grief-stricken over what was going on. And I knew that I had to relieve myself of that. I acknowledged it. I was very grateful that I was clear about what my feelings were. There has been an incredible amount of pain and angst and screaming and yelling and ranting and raving privately. And now it's not there. It's gone. The sadness and grief that I experienced is gone. It's gone. And as a result of that, I can show up in life in a way that I haven't shown up before. And I'm thrilled about that. So here's a solution right here, right now, that anyone can take to the bank in regards to letting go of these things, these challenges. And that is the Ho'oponopono prayer, the God Save Me from Being Angry prayer, the prayer that they have everything that I wish for. And if you need help with this, I'm more than willing to help. So contact me via my website, and we can chat. Thank you so much for listening. Merci beaucoup. Bonsoir.